Humanity's understanding of our cosmic neighborhood was shattered the moment the Aurelia X deep space probe entered the orbit of Zephyros Prime in the year 2142. This $7 billion mission, funded by the United Earth Alliance, was unlike any space project before it. The diamond-plated spacecraft, spanning the size of 3 football fields, was equipped with quantum sensors and gravity wave scanners capable of peeling back the layers of a planet's deepest mysteries. What the Aurelia X discovered on Zephyros Prime would rewrite history, ignite global debates, and leave even the most brilliant astrophysicists speechless. Zephyros Prime, long known to star watchers as the monarch of the skies, towers over every other world in the Orion Gate system. Its sheer magnitude is staggering, a planetary colossus that glows with an eerie golden light, visible even through the thick haze of the asteroid belt. Ancient archives from multiple civilizations reference its crown storm, a never-ending cyclone said to hold the secret to eternal energy. Until Aurelia X, such tales were dismissed as legend. This titanic world orbits its star once every 19 Earth years, taking an almost leisurely cosmic path 1.4 billion miles from its sun. Despite its slow journey, a single day on Zephyros Prime lasts less than 10 hours due to its violent rotational speed. This hyperrotation drives colossal atmospheric streams, some moving faster than any hurricane ever recorded on Earth, sculpting vast silver and crimson cloud structures thousands of miles long. The planet's gravitational force is mind-bending, 4 times stronger than Earth's, capable of pulling passing asteroids into a death spiral before they ever breach its outer rings. With a diameter surpassing 300,000 miles, Zephyros Prime could swallow 500 Earths whole and still have room to spare. Its atmosphere is unlike anything we've encountered, a shimmering blend of hydrogen plasma, liquid metallic helium, and strange crystalline particles that refract starlight like a cosmic prism. As Aurelia X plunged deeper into its study, its instruments detected impossible pressure levels. In the lower layers, hydrogen transformed into a superfluid state never before observed, while deep within, sensors hinted at a core not of rock or ice, but of unknown hypermatter, a substance that could bend the laws of physics themselves. Orbiting this planetary monarch is a court of over 90 moons, each with its own bizarre personality. 4 of them, Erebos, Luma, Thalos, and Nix, are so large they could be planets in their own right. Yet it was what lay beneath Luma's icy surface that would trigger the greatest shockwave in scientific history. Most of Zephyros Prime's moons are smaller fragments, ancient shards of destroyed worlds, or wandering asteroids pulled in by its immense gravity. When we're young, we're taught that planets simply orbit their stars in neat, perfect circles. But that's a comforting lie. In the Orion Gate system, Zephyros Prime revealed a truth that shook the foundations of astrophysics. It does not actually orbit its star the way lesser worlds do. In fact, none of the planets here follow perfect paths. Instead, both the star and its planets spin around a shared gravitational nexus. But Zephyros Prime is so massive, so dominant, that it drags this nexus thousands of miles above the star's surface. That means the star itself wobbles, swaying in cosmic rhythm with its planetary monarch. This point of balance, known as the Aurelian core, glows faintly in deep space, an anomaly no other world in known history has produced. Smaller planets barely nudge their stars. Zephyros Prime forces its sun to dance. And that's not all. Against all expectations, this giant possesses its own shimmering halo. Not a grand ring like the mythic worlds of the archives, but a subtle, ghostly band of golden dust. The Aurelia X probe's lightwave scanners confirmed that the dust is not just debris. It's laced with microscopic crystals that refract energy in impossible ways. This discovery, invisible to the naked eye, traced back to 3 fractured moons, which appear to be slowly crumbling into the ring system. For centuries, astronomers across the galactic colonies have been obsessed with Zephyros Prime. Long before quantum ships, the first deep-range telescopes revealed 4 luminous moons gliding like silent sentinels in its shadow. As technology advanced, explorers drew closer, sending unmanned craft to capture images of the colossal storm belts swirling across its surface. In the last century alone, 3 high-velocity missions, Pioneer Vega, Horizon Dawn, and finally Aurelia X, pierced its magnetic veil, bringing back visions so alien, so magnificent, that entire universities have devoted themselves to unraveling them. But nothing could have prepared the Aurelia X crew for the signal they intercepted from beneath the ice of Luma. The first close-range encounters with Zephyros Prime were made by the legendary Voyager-class starships, their hulls braving radiation belts that could shred ordinary vessels. Centuries later, the Galileo Ascendant became the first to lock itself into orbit, circling the Titan for years and mapping its storms in obsessive detail. Others followed, the Cassini Sentinel en route to the jewel rings of Aurelia, the New Horizons Edge on its way to the frozen worlds, each skimming past Zephyros Prime to steal fragments of data. But nothing matched the arrival of the Aurelia X mission, armed with quantum lenses capable of resolving cloud formations down to the width of a single lightning filament. Until Aurelia X, no probe had ever crossed above or below the poles of the giant. When it did in 3036, what it sent back was unlike anything ever imagined. These poles were not barren expanses, but cathedral skies. Electric blue storms spiraling in perfect symmetry, thousands of kilometers wide, glowing with ribbons of plasma unseen anywhere else in the Orion Gate. Gone were the familiar banded belts. In their place, chaotic living systems of weather, far more complex than any simulation had dared predict, churned in defiance of the planet's own gravity. As Aurelia X dove deeper, its sensors peeled back the planet's gaseous skin like layers of a colossal onion, revealing hundreds of kilometers of metallic hydrogen, xenon storms, and volatile compounds unknown to human science. The ancient banded structures were still there, buried nearly 3,000 kilometers beneath the clouds, hinting that the forces that paint Zephyros Prime's face are still alive deep within its heart. Then came the most startling find: perfectly symmetrical storm clusters, arranged like a planetary lattice, captured in spectra far beyond human sight. Using phase-shift infrared imaging, the crew stitched these signals into 3-dimensional energy maps, where temperature and luminosity bloomed like flowers across the poles. But the real shock was chemical. Zephyros Prime's crimson scar, once thought to be a mere superstorm, revealed water signatures laced with rare isotopes. The planet's moons, especially the ice-bound Luma and the shadowed depths of Nereos, had long been suspected of harboring oceans. Yet the gas giant itself had always seemed arid. Now, Aurelia X's data hinted at something stranger: the presence of structured water molecules in the upper atmosphere, behaving in ways no physics could explain. Coupled with energy readings from the crimson scar, the results suggested oxygen levels 2 to 9 times greater than its parent star. And buried within the interference, the instruments picked up a pulse, steady, rhythmic, and impossibly artificial. We all know how vital oxygen is for sustaining oceans, yet on Zephyros Prime, the discovery was only the beginning. Deep within its vast heart lies something far stranger than a molten metallic core, a fuzzy nexus, a realm where hydrogen exists in a state that defies classification, both semi-gas and semi-liquid, dissolving into itself like a living ocean of metal clouds. On Earth, a molten outer layer churns around a solid center. Here, the churning mass is boundless, possibly powering the planet's magnetic fields through a colossal dynamo, unlike anything in our solar archives. For decades, it was believed the magnetic might of Zephyros Prime came solely from hydrogen crushed into metallic form under impossible pressures. But Aurelia X's readings suggest an entirely different engine at work. And then, there are the auroras, immense curtains of energy wrapping the poles, not born solely from solar winds, but from an unknown force lurking within the planet's plasma veil. Instead of the gentle shimmer we know from Earth, these auroras blaze with 10 to 30 times the expected power, burning in ultraviolet brilliance invisible to human eyes, flaring brightest when the world rotates into darkness, as if drawing energy from the void itself. Even more perplexing, deep scans of its moon Pyros revealed an eruption, one never seen before, on a moon already famous for its violent volcanic seas. The moon's surface seemed to bleed molten rivers into the cold vacuum, the material arching into Zephyros Prime's magnetic grasp. Scientists counted over 150 active volcanic sites, yet the volume of ejecta hinted at hundreds more hidden beneath layers of shifting crust. Each eruption was a pulse, and each pulse was synchronized with the strange heartbeat Aurelia X had detected earlier in the Crimson Scar. At first, the heartbeat was dismissed as an anomaly, a quirk of interference between the probe's quantum sensors. But the deeper Aurelia X listened, the more undeniable it became. The pulse was not random. It was structured, layered, almost speaking. The signal rode on frequencies older than the system itself, whispering through plasma and magnetic storms, bending light and matter as though the planet's core was a transmitter, and the entire gas giant a living cathedral of resonance. Patterns within the rhythm aligned uncannily with fractal geometries found in ancient human cultures, spirals carved into stone long before telescopes were invented. No one could explain how such symmetries could exist light years apart, or why they now pulsed from the depths of Zephyros Prime. Some on the Aurelia X crew swore the sound was not mechanical at all, but a voice, calling not to them, but to something far older, something that might already be on its way.